Welcome to the Full Dive Gaming Podcast. With so many of you getting your headsets this year, we thought it'd be fun to sit down and do a mini episode talking about some of the best games that are good for people who are new to VR. This episode is brought to you by Asterion Products. Check them out. They make VR, AR headset accessories. They got something new on the horizon, and code FULLDIVE10 will get you 10% off anything from them. I'm Jay Rat, a VR YouTuber and streamer.
And I'm Nat Brat, a VR lover who wishes she could play more Minecraft VR.
So good. So good. Well, let's jump right into these games. We got 5 games for you that are good for if you're new to VR. First one, Super Hot VR. Now, something I want to say about pretty much everything on this list, because if you're new to VR, it's best to start with games that don't have a ton of locomotion, don't have you moving a whole bunch. Super Hot VR is an amazing example of that. It's an action game. It's a puzzle / shooter where basically you are in control of time and your enemies, because whenever you move your hand or your head or your body, that allows time to advance to where they can come at you. But if you freeze and you stop, they have to stop too. So it gives you time to kind of think ahead. You see one person's coming at you with a knife, another's coming at you with a gun. Who should you try and take out first? Should you grab something to throw at them? Should you try and get your hands on that gun? Really cool game, Super Hot VR. It was actually nominated by the Game Awards for VR AR Game of the Year back in 2017. And right now, if you're on the Quest, it's on sale for $17.49 instead of its normal $25 and a 4.7 rating. Nat, do you think it deserves 4.7? Do you think it deserves higher, lower?
I think 4.7 is good. I know it's kind of an old game at this point, but it's always a very fun one to go back to and a great game for when you're first getting into VR for sure.
Definitely, especially because when you're first getting to VR, hopefully you're showing all your friends it, having them come over and try it if they haven't. And this is a great game because it not only makes people feel really cool, kind of like people call it a Matrix simulator or a John Wick simulator, but it's also one of the few VR games when other people play it, they actually look cool playing this game. Like you can take videos and stuff and share them. People just look really badass. You see them like slow dodging a bullet to the side, and it's a really great party game too.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that brings us kind of into our next one that's also kind of been hailed as a John Wick simulator, Pistol Whip. This is a game where it's a shooter, you're in place, but there's like a world kind of coming at you. You're shooting at targets and pistol whipping them as well. It's a really fun game. It's a rhythm game. You don't have to shoot to the beat of the music, but you do get more points if you shoot to the beat of the music. When I play it, I have a little bit of a hard time because you're also dodging bullets from enemies, and I get too into shooting with the beat and I forget that, oh yeah, I need to dodge these bullets too. So this game is a great one, even though those of you that know me know that I always say like, we don't need another shooter, but this game is more of like a rhythm game, so I really enjoy it. It's a great one, again, to show new people that haven't played VR before, because again, it doesn't have that locomotion. We actually had this as one of our demo games that we had people playing when we showed people some Quest 2s at an amusement. And yeah, people do really well with it, have a lot of fun with it. It actually has a 4.8 rating in the Quest store right now, and it was winner of the VR Game of the Year award in 2020. So
from the DICE Awards, yeah.
From the DICE Awards.
Not the big ones.
Oh, okay.
I think Half-Life Alyx won the big one that year. But yeah,
Pistol
Whip, awesome game. Different types of enemies. Some have armor, some don't. So some take 1 bullet, some takes 4 bullets. You got different guns. You can dual wield. All kinds of challenge modes they've added since, if you want to get in every day and use it for fitness too. You've got that option. Those daily challenges can help you get in, get some exercise, dodging things that are coming at you, and of course dodging bullets, but also there's like pillars and stuff you have to duck under, and it's a pretty active game. I really like it. It really is.
And it also has some story modes, which one of them I really enjoy. It's like futuristic and really gets you into a story to go along with it. There's also like a Western story mode that some people might enjoy. I'm not super into it, but it's cool that it has that variety. There's story mode, and then there's just playing the games and all the new things they've added. So definitely worth a shot. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Moving on.
And the price $29.99.
Yeah, which is higher than it used to be. They've dropped so much DLC for free. They actually end up raising the price from 25 up to 30. So but all the DLC that comes out continues to be free. So definitely seems like it has some legs to it.
For sure.
So next, it's actually 2 games, but we rolled these into one. The I Expect You to Die series. There's 2 of them out. These are basically escape room puzzle games, but through the lens of being a spy. You're dropped into some dangerous situation. You have different tools around you, and you have to try and figure out what's happening. How do you solve this puzzle? Take the steps. And there's different strategies to solve them too a lot of the time, which is cool. You don't have to, there's not just always one way to win. And as you advance through each one, it continues to tell the story of you being the spy as you learn more. But because there's no locomotion, you're using your physical space. You're reaching far to the right to grab a tool. You're reaching far to the left. Again, no risk of motion sickness. And they're also funny. There's a lot of humor involved in these games. The I Expect You to Die series are some of the best games. And second one actually was nominated for a VR AR Game of the Year by the Gaming Awards back in 2021. I think you've only played the first one, Nat.
Yes, and I hadn't played a lot of it. I get too into like one game at a time, so I don't play enough variety of games, but I did definitely try this one out and it was very cool. It's good I feel like it's good even for people that are not the best at puzzle games. I tend to get kind of frustrated or like bored if it takes too long to get through. I think it's a good level where you can get through it and have fun, even if you're not super into puzzle games.
Yeah, and they do a good job in some of them. The like narration that you hear will like start to help you a little bit if you've taken too long. So it kind of helps you get through them. But some of the puzzles can be pretty challenging. Some of them, I know there's one where it's like, it's not only a puzzle, but you also things happen at a certain time and you have to kind of react quickly. So yeah, there is different difficulty levels throughout the game. So keep that in mind.
I didn't play very much. I think I played like one little
just the first level. So. Yeah, I played pretty much the whole first game. I haven't gotten to the second yet, but I've heard it's just as good. So I'm excited.
Nice. And the next game that we will suggest is Demeo, which is one of my very favorite VR games. It's a dungeon crawler game that's like tabletop game simulators, an easier version of D&D. People describe it kind of D&D-esque, but it's extremely fun even for people that don't typically enjoy tabletop games.
Me.
Yes. You have your little cards in your hand. You have your player that you move around. What's really nice, and I think what makes it more approachable for people, is that all this stuff happens kind of not automatically, but like you choose like the cards you want to play, and then it does all this stuff for you. You don't have to like keep track of points or anything like that. So very approachable, very fun. They've added several new characters. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. My favorite is the assassin, who has really high damage and can also stalk around without people seeing them, which is really cool. All different kinds of enemies. You have to use kind of strategy to get through it and have teamwork while you're playing, which is really fun. It's a great one to play where you get a group together and play it, or you can also play skirmish mode where you play on your own and kind of learn more about how the different characters work, how the different cards work, and all that stuff. Very, very fun game. I highly recommend it. It has a 4.7 rating on the Oculus Store, or I guess, is it the Quest Store? I guess
same
it's not
thing.
Oculus Store anymore. And right now, as of the end of December 2022, it is on sale for $22.49, regularly $30. And is that going up now, or did it already go up, the price?
It is going up in price actually next month. So yeah, this is the time to buy it right now.
Yeah. And what is it going up to?
40, I want to say, which is a premium price, but they have added a ton. And there's another PvP mode coming where you can actually pair heroes and cards, and someone has to go up against someone who looks like they're in control of the monsters actually that you have to fight. So it also won Game of the Year 2021 for VR AR games from the Game Awards, the big national one. So that's huge for any game.
I think Demeo, you gotta always win the Game of the Year award.
Well, and it's also this and I Expect You to Die are the two on this list that you can sit down and chill and play, where you know, a lot of these games, they have you up and moving. This one is a nice one to take a break after you've played a whole bunch of our number one pick, which is Beat Saber. It's not only a game everyone in VR I feel like has to have, but actually if you bought your Quest in the last few months, you get it free right now with it. If not, you got to pay the $30 to get it. If you don't, how do you not know what Beat Saber is if you're listening to this podcast? But if you don't, it is a rhythm-based game where you have all kinds of popular current music that you can buy in music packs, and you have a lightsaber in each hand that's color coded to notes or blocks that are coming at you, and you're slicing those to the rhythm of the music, kind of getting into it, dancing and melding with the music. It's just an amazing game. Interestingly, it actually has a 4.6, which is one of the lower scores out of all these, but it is by far one of the most popular games. It's one of the most reviewed games, so it has more reviews than others, which can honestly drag down a review in the long run. And of course, people having to pay for the DLCs after can also hurt a rating like that. But this is like a big reason a lot of people got VR, and people have set up very successful fitness plans by using Beat Saber, especially once you mod it and then you have custom songs. There's unlimited custom songs online, basically. Beat Saber is a top pick, of course, for anyone who's new to VR, showing people VR. And don't trust the demo. If you get on Quest, I got to say, the demo they give you, it's like one partial thing. It's on easy. It just doesn't feel like the real game. The actual game is so much more than that.
I am extremely excited. Oh, wait. Is it going to be on PSVR 2, or are they going to not allow it because of meta?
I think it's going to be on. I feel like that's been confirmed somewhere. It's just worth too much money for them to keep it to themselves.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I'm excited to try it when PSVR 2 comes out because of all the haptics and stuff. I think that will really add to it. Very excited.
It'll be interesting to see how they use those head haptics. Yeah. So that's 5 games for anyone who's brand new to VR, or if you've been in VR a long time and you haven't played any of these are all award winners, great games, high rated, highly recommend them. But if there's something on this list that you are like, hey, this should have been on this list, come over to the Discord, or of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can comment there and tell us what you think should have been on the top list, especially for anyone new to VRs. This is the time right now. So many of these were under trees this year. I'm excited to see the community grow. But I want to say thank you so much for coming out. And remember, if it's time, you've been thinking about VR, you just got your headset, what do you got to do?
Do I want in?
Do I want in?